in the mid-19th century, while the US expanding her economic interests to the Pacific, the need for backing by the government has become increasingly urgent. And such political support eventually evolved from promoting mutual economic benefits into direct intervention that altered the countries which were financially rewarding to the US. Since the era of the Columbian Exchange, the New World has been a place where materials from all over the known world are sold and purchased. The Americas is a land of agriculture and mining, but commerce has always been the belt connecting the New World with Eurasia and Africa. After the American Revolution, United States begins to establish her own trading routes with the outside world, taking advantage of the routes established by the British. The Atlantic coastal cities emerged important in the former half of the 19th century. Noteworthily, Salem, Massachusetts, becomes one of the major seaports of the newborn country. By the 1820s, American merchants have already begun flocking to the Pacific and making contact with the Hawaiian Islands. Needed an entreport in Far East, the federal government extended the Manifest Destiny, planning to branch out American economic and political presence in the Pacific. Meanwhile, in the East, an island country that has been isolating herself from the outside world for more than 200 years, is going to have her first encounter with the country standing across the Pacific Ocean. Japan. Japan, under the rule of Tokugawa shogunate, hasn't had any direct contact with most Western countries for almost 250 years by the arrival of the American Navy. In order to assure business interests, Admiral Matthew C. Perry, carrying President Millard Fillmore's credential, entered Kanagawa in 1853 and asked the shogunate to open Japan. The Japanese government, however, used ancestors' laws could not be changed as an excuse, asking for more time to consider the decision. Upon the arrival of the Americans, Japanese people portrayed Perry in two completely different manners.
The portraits of Perry as a devil, there were the portraits of his ships belching fire. All of this served to whip up, near hysteria on the part of portions of the Japanese populace. At the same time, there's fascination. There's fascination with Perry.
Perry, before his departure, claimed that he would return the next year. In 1854, to fulfill promised maritime commerce, America forced the shogunate to sign the Treaty of Kanagawa. The Treaty of Kanagawa unlocked two Japanese ports, Shimoda and Hakodate, as entreports and supply depots for free trade. Thus America had buried the old Sakoku period of Japan.
Perry got what he wanted, which was to establish a relationship between Japan and the United States. The shogunate got what it wanted in not surrendering its control over foreign relations and opening Japan up to unregulated trade. I'm not sure that the shogunate has been given enough credit for choosing peace over war. And you can say that the shogunate chose to open up relations with America and the West out of weakness.
In 1858, 2 years after the first American minister Townsend Harris's arrival, the federal government decided to take further advantage of the weary central government. America, alongside Great Britain, Russia, Netherlands, and France, coerced Japan to sign the ancillary treaties, opening another 5 Japanese cities and granting extraterritoriality for Westerners. Since then, America has not only built permanent business relationship with Japan but also employed political maneuvers to intervene in Japanese politics. However, American and other Western countries' interventions irritated conservative Japanese. In 1863, the Domain Shoshu declared war at the foreigners. American Navy with other Western countries crashed the rebel and asked for $3 million as war indemnity. The economic connection between America and Japan was deeply tightened after the war when Japan decided to westernize herself. As for the US, the strong diplomatic relationship between her and Japan developed from the economic connection not only empowered American presence in Far East, but also paved way for further intervention in other Eastern and Southeastern Asian countries.